My journey didn't start with code or complex charts. It started with a simple, frustrating question. Why is money transfer so costly? I saw people around me, good, hard-working people, struggling to send money to their families abroad. They were losing huge chunks of their earnings to fees and waiting days for it to arrive. I watched small businesses get tangled in the slow, expensive web of traditional banking, unable to grow because the system was built to serve the powerful, not the aspiring. This wasn't just an inconvenience. It felt like a fundamental injustice, a barrier to human potential that was entirely man-made. I knew there had to be a better way, a system that connected people directly, without the gatekeepers taking their cut. This desire for a fairer world led me down the rabbit hole of alternative finance. I explored everything I could find, community credit unions, new payment apps, but they all seemed to be building on the same broken foundation. Then I discovered Stellar Blockchain. It was a revelation.
The idea of a decentralized ledger, owned by no one and everyone at the same time, was revolutionary. It promised a world where you could be your own bank, where transactions were transparent, and where the rules couldn't be changed on a whim by a distant corporation or government. So what exactly makes Stellar so special? First, let's talk about speed and cost, because this is where it immediately changes the game for everyday people. Imagine sending money across the globe. With the old system, you might wait 3 to 5 business days and pay a fee that could be as high as 10%. That's a long time to wait when a family member needs medicine, and that fee is money that could have bought food or paid for school supplies. With Stellar, a transaction settles in about 3 to 5 seconds, not minutes, not hours, but seconds. And the cost? It's a tiny fraction of a penny. This incredible efficiency allows a small farmer in Kenya to receive payment for her crops instantly from a buyer in Europe. It allows a freelance artist in the Philippines to get paid by a client in America without losing a big slice to intermediaries. Stellar was designed to be a bridge, connecting different currencies and payment systems into one global network. It uses something called the Stellar Consensus Protocol, which is a brilliant way to confirm transactions quickly and securely without the massive energy consumption of blockchains like Bitcoin. It's greener, more efficient, and more democratic. But what truly sets Stellar apart is its heart. This technology is being used for some of the most important humanitarian work in the world today. A powerful example is its partnership with the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees and MoneyGram. They created a system to deliver digital cash assistance to eligible Ukrainian refugees. People forced to flee their homes could receive aid on their phones as digital currency and then cash it out at thousands of locations. Fast, secure, and it gives people the dignity of choice in how they use their funds. My journey into this new world was not without its pitfalls. The crypto space, for all its promise, can be a dangerous place, especially when you are just starting out. I was so eager to find solutions that I sometimes jumped in too quickly. I remember the sting of my first real loss. I invested in a project that had a flashy website and a charismatic leader who made grand promises of changing the world. I believed in the vision, but it was all a mirage. The project collapsed and the money was gone. It was more than a financial loss. It felt like a betrayal of the hope I had placed in this technology. That experience left a scar, a deep-seated caution that I carry with me to this day. These challenges taught me a painful but vital lesson. Not everything that calls itself crypto shares the same values. The space is filled with scams, rug pulls where developers abandon projects and run with funds, and phishing attacks. It's a digital Wild West, and you have to learn how to protect yourself. I realized that my passion alone wasn't enough. I needed knowledge. I needed a community. I couldn't navigate this complex landscape on my own. This is where I discovered the power of a good community. I found groups like Quantum Stellar Initiative that became my lifeline. They weren't focused on hype or price predictions. Instead, they were dedicated to teaching people the fundamentals. The true measure of any technology is its impact on real people. I'll never forget the day I helped a Musig, founder of an orphan charity in Uganda, understand Stellar. For years, they have been receiving donations from other countries, and the fees were eating away at their limited funds. I sat with him and showed her how to use a Stellar-powered wallet. I sent Thel a small test amount, about $5. He watched, mesmerized, as the confirmation came through on their phone in less than 10 seconds. The joy and relief on his face were unforgettable. For him, this wasn't just technology, it was more money for the orphans and peace of mind. Another powerful moment came when a friend of mine was ready to give up on digital assets entirely. He felt foolish and defeated after being scammed with Bitcoin. I didn't try to convince him to invest again. Instead, I showed him how Stellar was different. We didn't talk about prices. We talked about asset tokenization. I explained how on Stellar you can create a digital token that represents a real-world asset. A share in a local community garden, a credit for a service, a piece of a community-owned solar panel. This concept of tokenization on Stellar is a game changer for ordinary people. It democratizes ownership. Imagine a small town wanting to fund a new library. Traditionally, they'd have to seek large donors or complex bank loans. With Stellar, they could issue library tokens representing a stake in the project. People from the community could buy these tokens for a few dollars each, contributing directly and owning a piece of the outcome. This isn't some far-off fantasy. The tools to do this exist on Stellar right now. When people first enter the world of crypto, they are often faced with a dizzying array of choices. Two names that frequently come up, Stellar and XRP. They share some historical roots and similar goals, but their core philosophies and designs have led them down very different paths. For me, the choice became clear when I looked closely at decentralization and purpose. Stellar was built from the ground up as an open network, neutral and decentralized. This openness is crucial. It ensures no single entity can control the network. Stellar's nonprofit model is guided by the Stellar Development Foundation under guidance of QSI DAO in the near future. The foundation's role is not to control, but to nurture the ecosystem, support developers, and champion real-world use cases. This mission-driven, non-profit approach gives me confidence in its long-term commitment. The transparency and real-world adoption of Stellar speak volumes. Its partnerships are not just with financial institutions, but with humanitarian organizations and on-the-ground payment providers solving real problems. You see Stellar used by companies like MoneyGram and Circle, creating seamless on- and off-ramps for digital currency worldwide. Reading about this new world is one thing, but taking your first step into it is where the journey truly begins. The most wonderful part about Stellar is that it was designed for you to get started easily and safely. You don't need a lot of money. You don't need a degree in computer science. Your first most important action is to learn. Start with the source, the siresources.com website. It has clear explanations about what Stellar is, how it works, the projects being built on it under White Hat's guidance, starting with training for free. Once you feel you have a basic grasp and succeed your QSI training, the next step is to join our community. I cannot overstate how important this is. Find Quantum Stellar Initiative Group on Telegram through the QSI Recourses website. Take a look at the chat. Feel the love and empathy among its members. Read a divine ICO from Stellar Russia or Alexei Korolev. A good community will be welcoming, patient, and focused on education. When you feel comfortable, introduce yourself. Ask your questions. You will find people genuinely happy to help you set up your first wallet and understand security practices. Your third step is to take a small, practical action. This isn't about investing, it's about experiencing. Go to the most trusted Stellar wallet this far, lumendex.online. Be aware of other similar wallets. Secure your secret key somewhere safe and offline. This is the most important rule. Then acquire a very small amount of XLM lumens. You can do this through Coinbase and send over to your Lumendex wallet. We're talking about the equivalent of a few dollars. Send one XLM to a friend who has also set up a wallet. Experience the speed for yourself. Feel that aha moment. See a cross-border transaction happen in seconds for a fraction of a cent. This hands-on experience will teach you more than hours of reading ever could. My final message to you is one of hope. The financial systems we were born into are not the only ones possible. We are living in a moment of profound change. Tools like Stellar are giving us the power to build a more equitable and connected world. You have a role to play in this future. Learn and share your knowledge. Support projects that align with your values. Be an informed user who demands better from our financial systems.
Your journey starts with a single step. Take it. The path is lit by incredible technology and guided by a compassionate global community. A brighter financial future, and not only is not just a dream, it's something we can build together starting today. Everything leads to Stellar. Discover through studying Stellar within QSI community why it is so.